Hey, what's up, Street Talk? This is Eric Kim from the Eric Kim Street Photography blog. So, I wanted to give a quick recap of the Chicago Street Photography workshop day one with Jason Martini. So, I've been to Chicago like maybe once or twice. Fortunately, I have a cousin named Holly, and if Holly, if you're watching this, thank you so much for hosting me in this beautiful house. And if you guys could tell, there's apparently they like to party a lot. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was the first time I did a workshop in Chicago, and it was really cool because I was able to do this workshop with Jason Martini, an incredibly talented street photographer from Chicago. And it's interesting because, when I started my blog, he was actually one of the first people that I interviewed. And, I was really captivated by his images. I saw them on Flickr, interviewed him, got him up there on my blog, and then a lot of people from the Midwest are like, hey, you should come down to Chicago, Chicago. And I'm like, oh yeah, that would actually be a pretty cool idea. And so I was thinking about that. I'm like, don't I know somebody in Chicago? Jason. So I gave Jason up a call, and he was really down to do it. And we got another guy named Sophie who actually works at University of Chicago who helped us with all the rooms and the arrangements. So Sophie, thank you so much for all the help. So yeah, Chicago day one, still a kind of new environment for me, but it was really great. I mean, after shooting street photography in a lot of different places, Chicago is definitely the place to be because I didn't realize that how full of life the downtown was, and there's just so many people walking back and forth. And the great thing is that they have this thing called the L, which is the elevated railway system, and tons of people driving through every single day, and tons of fun. I mean, it just creates a cool, really, the Chicago backdrop. And to think that Vivian Maier was shooting here decades ago and just creating some vivid imagery just kind of really inspired me. And just for the workshop, I mean, we had George and we had Ryan, two guys come all the way from Michigan. They drove all the way over here, so huge thanks to them. And all the participants just really ponying up and getting a lot more comfortable shooting in the streets. Getting closer to people and just engaging with people. And we're like a huge mass of people, and people are often asking, like, if you're shooting street photography with a ton of people, how do people react? And the interesting thing is that people react very positively. It's almost like we're walking, and we all see the same character. We go out and we're all taking this photo, and then the people at first are a little shocked. Oh, what's going on? Afterwards, they realize what's going on. Oh, we're photographers, just having a workshop. We're having a good time. So people start posing, and like, it's a ton of fun. And not only that, but during the workshop, Jason was able to show some of his images, tell the stories behind them, and we had what was it, a potbelly sandwiches. Those are really good sandwiches, and we had snacks, water, and just a really good workshop location, and being able to, you know, converse, talk, and it's really interesting these things with the workshops that we have a really wide gamut of people. Just you know, we even had Angelo come over from the Philippines who happens to be in Chicago. We got, some folks who are retired. We got some folks who are still in college, and you know, all these people from different walks of life. But being able to unite under this common thread, which is street photography, is really beautiful. And so, yeah, day one went really well. I'm very excited for day two. Still a little bit exhausted from today, but I think that day two will be really great. Oh, and also the cool thing was that today I was able to borrow a 17 to 40 Canon L lens from Josh, one of the guys from the workshop, and I put on my 5D. So I was using 17 millimeters, like ultra wide. Like I had to get like this close to people to get like a frame where I could actually fill the frame. And it's quite a thrill. It's very interesting. I didn't get that many great shots today, but um, you know, in the future, I definitely want to get wider. I mean, 24 is pretty cool, but 21 sounds pretty cool. And even 17, I'm like, oh man, it just creates a whole different type of image. I might have opened up a new can of worms. But yeah, excited. Thank you guys again so much. And it's interesting. I was in Paris, maybe half a year ago, and I was having a fun interview with Damien and Rayula and Charlie Kirk, and Charlie Kirk's interviewing me with a spoon. I have a link to the video below, but He's saying what is the future for Eric Kim, and I was talking. I was saying if there was a way I was able to do these workshops full time and just do street photography for a living, that'd be so awesome. And this was like 6 months ago. And to think how much has changed during that time, the fact that I'm able to travel and do these workshops, meet awesome people, have good food, take photos, it's all still so surreal to me. It almost feels like I've been on extended vacation the last 2 or 3 months, but it's just something so surreal. It just blows my mind. It's really something I'm blessed with. And Jamie, who's one of the participants who attended the workshop, asked me today, you know, what do you love most about the workshops? And I was thinking about it. I'm like, I like taking the photos, I like traveling, but it's definitely, the community is what really appeals to me, and the ability to come to a totally different place and bring a lot of wonderful and like-minded photographers into one room, and create this kind of camaraderie, the sense where people feel comfortable talking with one another, shooting with one another, and even after the workshops, being able to constantly connect with each other, add each other on Facebook, Twitter, 500px, have each other's phone number, call each other up. Like, I mean, if any of my homies from LA are watching, now, I'm not even in town. They sent me a text, and it was a group photo of all of them just at a bar after they hung out and shot in Venice Beach, and they're like, "Look at what you created," and Joel sent it to me, and I looked at that photo, and it really made my heart melt. I mean, it's just like, wow, being able to, you know, create this kind of community. It means so much to me, and the fact that you guys and all of you guys give me so much love and support, it just blows my mind. And I mean, if anything, I learned from Thomas, and whenever I introduce myself in the workshops, people say, "How did you get started?" I was talking about Thomas Loitar at 85 mil being so open, so generous, so loving that he gave me my initial opportunity in street photography and travel and go to Lebanon and do this workshop. Um, and it's just, I really want to, like he mentioned, pay it forward. Even though, sure, I need to do these workshops, I need to pay the bills, I don't want to be homeless, but being able to keep giving back to the community, supporting, photography programs, being able to support aspiring photographers who have projects. I mean, I really want to continue to tie in that philanthropy and support. I mean, because life's not about money. It's not about being rich or famous. I mean, sure, you need money, you need to live, but having more and more money for no reason is not gonna really do anything. And my mom always tells me, Eric, you always have to be genuine in what you do. Do it with your heart. Don't think about the money. Don't think about any of this. And I follow her advice, and I mean, I think I'm doing pretty well. Um, yeah. So uh, good day in Chicago. I'm gonna be doing the second day of the workshop, and in 2 or 3 days, I'm gonna see my girlfriend Cindy. I'm gonna see a girl in Michigan. So yeah, thanks guys for listening. I know I've been blabbing on blah 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 blah, but it really means so much to have you guys. So remember, stay on the sheets, keep shooting. All right, peace.